All right, welcome into episode 57 of the Avetts and Beyond. My name is Todd Emanuele, and I have a very special guest joining me this week. Been looking forward to this one. A couple of guys from the Way Down Wanderers are here, Austin Thompson and John Merikoski. Thank you guys so much for stopping in this week with me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having us.
so you guys have been busy lately. Got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know who wants to talk first, but new album coming, lots of new music and all this stuff. You tell me all about it. What's going on?
Yeah, man. So we had lots of time off over the winter, but that doesn't mean we weren't hard at work. Yeah, new album on the way, coming out April 4th,
That's
with a big
soon.
long album release tour. Yeah, a few weeks away. It's crazy. We got a single out right now called Hey Honey.
Love it.
So check that out anywhere you check out your music.
I'm
And
gonna
yeah,
start the
we're
episode off with that song, by the way. That's gonna be
nice.
the beginning of the episode.
Perfect.
So yeah, good way to lead into it.
Yeah, we're just stoked to hit the road, man, and get back out there with new music and see some familiar faces and new faces too.
Yeah, so where are you guys based out of?
Um,
So,
yeah, John, go ahead.
so I live up here in Chicago,
Oh, nice.
and
Okay.
our bass player Sam Peters lives up here in Chicago, and then we have our banjo player Travis, who just basically think he lives as far north as you can possibly get in Michigan. He's in Alpena,
Oh,
and
nice.
then Austin's down in Peoria.
Yep.
Okay, so you're all in the Midwest, kind of, I guess you could say, uh,
Yes.
kind of in a way, Northern Midwest, whatever. So touring, where, are you guys hitting everywhere? Because I gotta say, I asked for fan questions in one of your groups. I think it's All Who Wander, and the
Yeah.
responses in there, I'm sure you saw them. They were funny. They're like, "When are you coming here? When are you coming here? When?" And that was like all
Yep.
people were asking. So, have you not released a tour schedule yet? Because people
No,
are
we have. um, but there's so many folks all over the place, so it's tough to get everywhere. But this tour is taking us, through Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina.
cool.
We just announced some Colorado dates and a Connecticut date. We'll be out in California later this spring as well.
So you're covering the
Um,
whole country. That's really cool.
we're trying
What
our
do we got?
best.
Are Georgia and Tennessee on there,
Oh yeah, Georgia and Tennessee too. Yep.
and then maybe a little bit of Missouri.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
I missed quite a few.
Well, just
When does the tour start?
April 4th. So the day the
Oh,
record comes out,
right when the album comes out. Oh,
we hit the
cool.
road. Yeah. So hopefully people get the first few singles under their belt, and they'll be hearing stuff, either for the first time live, or they'll be
Right.
taking home the CD that night.
So when you play a live show, I don't know if you've done this on a day that an album's coming out, a record's coming out. Will you play the whole record from start to finish for the crowd? Is that something
Uh,
you've thought of?
Well, I think that we're going to play a good amount of it,
Okay.
but just for the sake of that, I think about my experience as a listener when I go and see shows, and I probably want to see some of the highlights of a new record, but I want to hear the classic stuff usually.
Of
So
course.
I don't think we'll play everything on the record right away, but I think we
Right.
will play a good chunk of it.
I'm
Um,
just thinking like in the future when you guys have blown up and you're huge and that day, that April 4th, when you played that whole record at that show, people are going to remember that.
that's a good call. No, that's
But
True.
on April 4th, people are going to be like, "Hey, where's all the songs I know?"
that's the other
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
For the people that didn't listen the day it came out, we want to make sure they
Right.
still, they don't just have like a 45 minutes of what is the
Right.
I also know that in the past couple albums, not for any particular reason, but we just happened to be not touring when a record came out.
That
And
was
it
Mhm.
the next question if you've done that
oh,
before, where
nice.
you
Yeah,
have a
we so
tour
we
on a day the album comes out.
not to
Um, yeah,
not
I
to
don't
my
think
knowledge.
so.
And so that was
No.
really like something that we talked about. It was hey, we always are sitting at home when a record comes out and we all, we maybe FaceTime each other and go, "Yay." And like that's all fun and good, but it's usually like, "Boy, we should probably be on the road right now." So this time we really made an effort of we want to be hitting the road hard. our wonderful agents at Mint Talent were so incredible putting this tour together. And we just said, we want to hit all across the country right when the record comes out for several weeks. And they said, well, here you go. Here it is. So
That's
I
really
think
cool.
we're 17, 18, 19 days in a row. Not a single stop, not a single break. It's going to be outrageous. I am excited. I'm scared. I'm
Yeah.
already tired. It's going to
It
be
makes me
wild.
tired to think about. Yeah.
Now, how does it work? Like when you're touring, I'm a musician, so I don't know. I would be terrified every night. But when you get out there, like, are the first few nights, are you nervous and then you kind of just get into a groove and then you're cool? Or is it, I'm terrified every night going out there? People are probably different.
Um,
Everyone's probably different.
yeah, it kind of varies, a lot of the times it will depend on like how much time we've had off prior to the tour.
Yeah.
But usually we try to get some rehearsals in before we all get on stage, so it's not like the first time we're playing. But usually it's like by the second or third night we're settling in, and then the wheels just roll. We catch a groove, and it's just like becomes like second nature, you know.
That makes sense. And I'm sure, like
Yeah,
I said, every artist is probably different and they all have different feelings and stuff. Some of them are probably never nervous ever, or I don't know. That's probably not normal not to be nervous. But uh,
sure.
16 days in a row without a break, that's a lot. You think about that.
Yeah,
That's a lot of days in a row. But man, you gotta love doing that, seeing the
It's
fans and
it's the best feeling in the world when we are several days into a tour and the band is just as tight as can be,
yeah.
and we're like inhaling together. We're like everything is happening together, and there's a moment in the song that has suddenly become, oh, it kind of elongates right here, and then it comes back together. These like intangible things that are my
hmm
favorite moments in the show, and that's when we start to feel. I just start to feel so proud of the live show around that time.
That's really cool, but there's also got to be moments when somehow, maybe not, maybe a long time ago when you first started, when things just aren't clicking. What do you do in a situation like that where you guys are just a little off? Does that happen? It doesn't happen, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
oh, it's definitely happened. Yeah, man. You just kind of play through. I mean, there's nothing else you can really do. Like there was our last show of the year, in 2023, my guitar was just not working. And
Yeah.
I was trying to like troubleshoot it during the song. I tried like three different things. And so then I just like put the guitar down and then just started like singing and dancing on stage, and like
And people
just
go
kind of
crazy.
rolled with the punches, man. And every moment is a learning experience, so it's got to make the most of it,
You gotta be ready for anything, right?
and I
Pretty
mean
much.
that's so much of what we are as a band is like this. We are human. We got a bunch of wooden boxes up there, and we got a bunch. It's like to to me, it's like if you want to see something perfect, you could go watch a DJ hit a button and play a song, and it's going to play perfectly, and
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, that human moment is sometimes my favorite part of a show. Someone
Right.
will,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. And there's nothing like live music. And really, that's funny that you say that. Like you think of that. If someone messes up, the crowd goes crazy because it's like, that's not supposed to happen. How cool that we got to
Right.
see that. These guys are human after all. That's really funny. So wow, it's gonna be great seeing you guys out on the road. Where in New York are you coming? I know you said New York. I'm in New York, so I'm
Just
curious.
New York City
Oh,
on
okay.
this run. But yeah, we'll be in like the Philly area and Pittsburgh as well. I guess Philly is probably a bit closer. But yeah, usually we try to hit like the upstate region or Buffalo as well, but I'm sure we'll get out there. And what you said, you're near Syracuse?
Yeah, I'm about an hour
Okay.
east of Syracuse. So yeah, don't go to Buffalo in like January. Just a hint for you there.
Oh yeah, we've done it. I think we'll be coming through Syracuse this summer though.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh, great.
it's not out there yet,
Oh,
but I believe so. So
it will be now. So like 10 people are gonna
you're
hear
right.
this. So
That's okay.
tens of people, I should say.
wow, 10
Uh,
of people.
10 of people will hear this. But that's exciting. If you're coming, I will come to that show. Most definitely if you guys are coming.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait. All right. So you guys had some news this week that I wasn't sure if we could talk about or whatever, but it's a big change for you guys. Colin announced that he's no longer in the band. A, what happened? B, what is that? How does that affect you guys? He's a big part of the band.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
I don't know who wants to talk about it. You can flip a coin or something.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, I'll start and John can piggyback.
And I don't know if you don't have to go into it
Yeah, I mean,
like that. I'm just
I
curious.
feel like it's sort of just kind of like a natural evolution. It's nothing like it's not like one particular thing happened to
Yeah.
for him to make that decision. I don't feel like it's just we're all getting older and what we want in life kind of changes. Priorities change, and just what we look for in our own art might change, or but our biggest thing is like everyone is happy. We've had a few
Right.
like permanent members leave the band, um and the biggest thing for all of us has just been like happiness and mental health, um and so yeah, I think he's leaving on like we're all on a good page, which is really important. And yeah, he will definitely be missed, man. It's been, we started he's also my brother-in-law, so
Oh, wow. Okay.
um yeah, like it's definitely a hard loss for sure.
I'm just thinking
But
you
with
guys
that said,
you're about to hit the road. You got a new album coming out,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
that happens. That had to
right.
be kind of hard. But I mean, you guys are family,
Definitely.
so
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta roll with it, man. And we've kind of been it's been a gradual transition towards that. I feel like over the past few years that I don't feel like we were all blindsided by that choice or decision, which
okay.
made it a little easier.
Right. Sure.
And I feel like we're all kind of just prepared for that moment to come.
Well, so
So
move on
yeah,
is all you can do, right?
yeah,
and I'm we just had so much fun, over the past decade, going all over the country and the world playing together. Colin is just he's such an incredible artist and a wonderful person, and is so active in his local community and just does such amazing things. I think he ran a marathon this year. He's a really wonderful guy, and to me that idea of just wanting everyone on that. People say to us a lot of times, they're like, you all are having so much fun on that stage.
Mm.
And to me, if the moment that somebody isn't feeling that way, I wouldn't want them to have to do anything they didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And
Right.
mhm,
I know that Colin still has his love for music, and I'm very much I'm very much so excited to see what he does in the future, and in music making, and I look forward to keeping in touch with him. But I'm also just I appreciate that he gave us time to be preparing for a tour, and to be to have it where we're ready to go and ready to have this really great live show. And I'm just so excited for our future and for his future, and this record that we did. And there was a very smooth transition where the person that we have filling in for this upcoming tour is actually was a member of the Way Down Wanderers. This is
Oh,
someone
no
who
kidding.
played the very first Way Down Wanderers show with
right.
us. So this person is old news to us, and in the best way, he's family,
Yeah, it's
and
like a full circle moment.
yeah, it's our good friend Sammy Henriksen, and it was really fun because over the course of the last couple of years, we've not only been starting to share the stage with him, he's filled in as a
Mhm.
sub a few times,
Hmm.
but we also got to work with him on like new music. And that this upcoming record that we have coming out was produced by not only the Way Down Wanderers, but myself and this guy Sammy Henriksen were at the helm. And so Sammy was such a tremendous part of the sound of this new record. And
Yeah.
there was definitely a sense of, oh wow, how are we going to do this record? Sammy was such a big part of it, and we would have figured it out. But once a little bit of space in that vehicle opened up, we got an open seat. We said, hey, you want to hit the road? And Sammy was very, very excited about it. And so I know that a lot of our friends and family and fans have met him before and have interacted with him. And I'm just so excited for him to be taking a larger role than he has before on this tour. Not just playing a song or two, but
Sure.
being
Yeah.
up there with us and playing
And
those
Yeah.
songs. Yeah.
yeah. Now, how cool is that? How lucky is that you have
Oh
that?
my gosh.
Like, that's such an easy transition for you.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, he especially with the new material, it's easier for someone to learn stuff they've heard and or whatever, but it'd be hard to get someone who didn't know this new record like from its core, which he
Right.
does, you know. He was
That's
such a part of
perfect.
it,
My
such a
God,
huge part of the album. So
you really couldn't have
yeah,
gotten luckier to have him there. That's a way to put it, I guess.
Yeah.
So speaking of fans, your fan base has grown a lot over the last several years. Tell me about how it's evolved. And I know the Avett brothers. This is a Avets and Beyond show, whatever. I like to talk about that, and I know you guys are both in the Rejects in the Attic group on Facebook, which is pretty
yes.
fun. But tell me about your fans and how it's changed over the years.
Really quick, I want to say I cannot tell you the last show that I didn't have at least one person come up to me and say, "Hey, Rejects in the Attic,
I
Avetts."
know, seriously.
Not
That's
a,
funny.
I mean, in years, there has not been one show that
Literally,
doesn't
yeah.
happen.
Who
What a
wears the
Which is
community.
Reject shirt?
amazing.
I've seen someone in your band wear a Reject shirt during a show
Yes.
before.
Oh yeah, I think we all have reject
You have?
shirts
Oh,
actually
cool.
now. Yeah. Yeah, but the fan base has grown and evolved, you know, and I think it just comes with touring and traveling and just being consistent. And you know, we have some stuff that's really rootsy and folksy, and some stuff that's kind of rocky, some stuff that's a little more like hypnotic, and dancey. So it's a pretty broad spectrum of listeners that we kind of pull in. And so, you know, it's fun to see a show. We'll have like some people from the jam scene, some old like folk people, and some young kids, and just like everyone, man. Like it's pretty amazing.
That's pretty cool.
um, yeah, so we just hope that it keeps growing.
And it's going to. Who were some of your musical inspirations? That's such a cliche question to ask, but I always like to know, who you listened to growing up that made you want to play music for a living. Both of you, you can answer.
Yeah. So growing up, my dad always had on like three artists pretty much on repeat, which were Garth Brooks, the Beatles, and the Dixie Chicks.
Nice. Okay,
And
that's
that
a
was
mix.
pretty much it. You know, I branched out more into like, you know, hip hop and stuff later in my younger teen years, but those were like the roots of like just those like country folk pop hooks that I like love, you know, and I still love that stuff. So especially the Beatles, and I've been digging more into country too these days. So
The
yeah.
Dixie Chicks. So, what was the album? Fly? That was that the name of the album?
Yeah, or Wide Open Spaces was like I
Fly.
think their debut.
Oh, okay.
Um
Fly was the one I listened to on repeat all the time. I love that album.
nice.
Loved it.
Yeah. They're nuts. They're so good.
Yeah, they are really good.
But I know John is all over the board too.
I am too. I mean, not that no one cares what I
Right.
grew up
Yeah.
listening to, but I've listened to everything always.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
what was your
Yeah, go for it, John.
I do want to hear yours too, Todd. But
Mine on everything.
well, so growing up, I had my dad was just my dad grew up in Europe, and so was just a really serious metalhead. He was
Oh,
just heavy
nice.
metal, all heavy metal. And so from before I could remember till, high school, that was it. I mean, that was, with the occasional odds and ends of, from anywhere between like from Frank Zappa to Alan Jackson and anything
Wow.
in between. He's a very eclectic listener,
Yeah.
reggae and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, a lot of metal. And that was because, just my dad, I wanted to hang out with my dad. I wanted to listen to the music my dad listened to. And
That's awesome.
ended up started playing in jazz band, and got deeper into that music, really fell in love with jazz and studied that when I went to school. So just kind of had a weird mishmash of stuff, and I did not know what a mandolin was when I joined the Way Down Wanderers.
Really?
I thought
I didn't
that
know what bluegrass was before I met Colin either. Like I'd never listened to, I mean, other than the Dixie Chicks or like country music was the closest thing I had to that. That's
When
so
did
funny.
when did you guys discover the Avets?
I knew them. It would have probably been right around I Am Loving You. I wish I could say I was in earlier than that, but my cousin said to me, he said, "You've got to check out the Avett brothers." They're
Okay.
Classic.
he goes, "You got to check them out. They have this song called Kick Drum Heart, and you got to check it out." And I listened to it, and I was like, "This is awesome. I love this." And then it was so funny because, later finding out there's a very polarizing song. There's a lot of people that don't like they're like, that's when they got bad, and
Right.
but of course I love that song, and I love the old stuff, and but had followed them from that, from I Am Loving You on, and I really like that new song they have too.
Yeah, it's got, I love the new song. I can't believe there's people that don't like it. There's so many that have commented that they just can't get into it. I'm like, how do you not get into it? It makes me want to dance, even though
So
the lyrics are kind of dark-ish,
Yeah.
and it's like this
To,
jumpy song. It's interesting. I
I
love,
just
to me, it's like as long as their voices are on it, it's good.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I
yeah.
I
agree.
love music that surprises me. I love music that grabs me right away. That was very much something while we were producing this Way Down Wanderers record. You can hear it in Hey Honey. It starts with just like it's like hey. I like that grab, and I just
Mhm.
kind of felt like is Love of a Girl, like it's just like boom, it's right there right away. So
Right in the middle, yeah, right away. I love it. And their music has evolved so much over the years. Are you guys, you feel like you're the same type of way, like you've changed over the years, kind of like they have, or not to that point yet? I don't know.
Yeah, a
That's a
little
good
bit.
question
I mean,
to
like the thing about us is like even from our first album, that Mike Marsh actually produced from the Avett Brothers.
nice little connection there.
Yeah, we've always had stuff that kind of pushed the edge and pushed the boundary a little bit sonically. Like we never really wanted to be pinned like as a folk bluegrass band. People just see the banjo
So
and the
it's
mandolin and
Avetts
they
then.
just think bluegrass.
It's like the
But
Avetts
like
then because they're so
right,
they're you can't define them because they do so many different
exactly.
things.
Yeah. So I feel like we are similar in that way.
Right.
And so yeah, I feel like we've pushed certain things in different ways, but it's all been very natural, at least to me. It's a lot of that stuff is coming, natural to me and to John and people like Sammy as well. So it feels right. It doesn't feel contrived or, put upon. So
Love it.
Yeah, we never had a discussion about. I think that's something that's
right.
kind of people. A lot of times you'll hear this thing, and I think a lot of artists hear this, where someone says, "Wow, that's like a new direction for you," or "Oh, that's a really interesting sound that you all have decided on taking it." Th- All of these songs started the same way, and that's someone was strumming on a box. Maybe it's a box
Yeah.
this big or a box this big, and or plunking on a keyboard, and
Yep.
then we just said, well, let's just make the song,
It
and
just
we
happens.
Mhm.
and we make the song, and then people say, oh, you did this and that, and we said, we just made a song. We weren't
Isn't
weren't
that
trying to
something?
Trying
be
anything. Right.
When you try, that's when it doesn't work, right?
exactly.
100%. Yeah.
I
I
find that whenever we say whenever the phrase like what do you think that our fan base would like, whenever that comes out, whatever we do is not good.
Yeah.
It never works.
and it just naturally happens, and that's the magic. That's the gold that goes on the record. That's
Yep.
good stuff. So, all right, John, I gotta ask you, when you first saw a spoon on your kitchen table when you were a young boy, did you think I'm gonna play that someday? Or how did
No.
that come about, your whole spoon
Wow.
thing? And do you have
I,
spoons with you right now?
I do have spoons
Oh,
with me.
thank goodness.
I can definitely, yeah, I do. I've been using them all my life. Uh,
Yeah.
I started at a very young age using the spoons. It's a very, prodigy, just with the cereal and all that. And
First it was an airplane, right? You open you up, you're on
exactly.
the
Right.
airplane.
Yeah, my parents taught me. I wasn't self-taught. No, but um, so again, like I said, I didn't grow up with bluegrass. I didn't grow up with folksy, rootsy music, and I I was very much someone who was a student of music, though. And when I first joined the Way Down Wanderers, I said, well, this whole folk bluegrass Americana thing, I don't know anything about this. I'm gonna really do some research. I'm gonna do some homework. And I started, tracing back the roots of American music, and just how do we get to here. And one of the things I want to know is how, as a drummer, in a bluegrass band, you're already wrong. Like you've already messed it up. And so I kind of wanted to see how other drummers were maybe complementing and approaching that music. And I looked back to like what Appalachian roots musics were, and a lot of the percussion you would hear would be like soft shoeing or flat footing, like the tap dance stuff.
Sure.
And I've got two left feet. That wasn't going to happen.
You could have
And
played a washboard or something like that.
that's, you know what? I think the thing that stopped me from the washboard was I didn't have one in my cabinet already.
Right.
could have been
You
your-
can see it a lot. Yeah.
The spoons I already had. I remember that we were early on in the band. We were making no money. We were touring and you get nothing, and so we had to figure out a way to feed ourselves and to put gas in the 20-year-old RV that was falling apart. We were, just like barely getting around the country. And so we would busk every single place we went.
That's great.
And that was basically the main source of income for a while, with the band and what kept us floating. And I feel like I have this natural lazy inclination. I don't want to drag a drum set onto the street and all that. And I remember I saw someone playing spoons on I wish I could say it was like from like a grandparent or something that like taught me their ancient secret or whatever. I watched a video on YouTube. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I can put them in my pockets. And when the police officers come over and say, you guys got to get out of here right now, I just put them away and we can walk away. I don't have to lug a drum set. And then we go to the next corner until they tell us to move from that one. And
Oh
so,
man.
I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing, and people started just freaking out about the spoons. And then if I didn't play them, they'd be like, why didn't you play the spoons? And now it's just, after a decade, I've given a TED talk on spoons. I
saw that. I watched that.
Oh, thank you for watching that. Gotten to play all over the world. And yeah,
And now you get to play on the Avetts and Beyond. So can you play something for me?
I am honored. You should ask Austin a
Let's hear it.
question. Let me grab mine because there's one here and I need to get a second one.
Oh, okay.
John uses pretty specific spoons at this point. He's pretty
I'll be back.
That's cool.
pretty
All right.
picky.
Yeah, no, he's got to get the correct instrument. You just can't grab any spoon and
Yeah.
play them.
Yeah.
All right, so I can ask you while he's gone. Someone brought this up in my fan questions.
Okay.
One of the page. I can't remember which page it was on though. Are you guys gonna ever collab? Is that the right way to say that with the Bernie
Mhm.
sisters?
Oh man, like on an actual song. That
Wouldn't
would
that be
amazing.
something? A song
We would
on tour or anything?
I would love that. I mean, it's crazy because they first saw us at at a venue in their hometown of Columbia. And yet since then, I mean, we've had them open for us like multiple times.
Right.
And it won't be long before we're opening for them, So but I would love that. I would love to write with them or get in the studio with them.
Isn't it
We share
crazy?
the stage a lot. They're such great singers.
Right. It's so crazy how you
man.
forget how young they are, but
Yeah.
they're so incredibly talented.
Yes, I know.
And
It's
I just can't
wild.
fathom that they're 13 and 16 or whatever they are right now.
Yep.
Just blows my mind the talent they have. So
I know.
that's
It's
great
really
that you guys
crazy.
can work.
Their parents as well are just so supportive and they're so into it. And it's just so amazing to see, a family that just revolves their life around music like that. And,
They
it's
put
like it doesn't come
everything
often,
They
so
put everything into supporting them, which how many kids their age get that kind of support from their parents, that want to be musicians? Like,
poor.
it never happens. It never,
No, it's usually like a rebellious
right?
act.
Absolutely. April
So
actually
I
gonna
would
have,
love that.
yeah, well, let's make it happen because that would
Yeah,
be,
man.
I'm gonna have
I'm
April.
in.
April's gonna be my guest in a couple weeks on the show because
Oh, fun.
I want to hear her perspective of all this stuff that's been going on. I've
Yeah.
had the girls on a couple of times, but I want to
Awesome.
hear the parent side of touring
Yeah,
with the Bernie sisters,
totally.
All right, we got spoons. We got spoons.
Yep. Bernie sisters are amazing, by the way. I love them very much.
As I said, you guys got to collab together. So with
I-
something.
I played a show with them. I played drums
Oh
with
yeah.
them.
Oh, I knew that.
In Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, the Chicago show. We had a bunch of fun. It was a great time. They're
They're so
amazing.
good.
You just grab on the coattails and like just it soars and you just hang on for dear life. It's amazing.
Emma she's a powerhouse singer.
They're both
Yeah,
they're
both
both-
amazing.
yeah, they are both
Mhm.
incredible. All right, well, I've got these
So
spoons here.
talented, man.
Yeah, let's hear something from the spoons. Then
Take it away.
we're running out of time. I only have like
Oh,
8
okay.
minutes left. It's crazy
right.
how fast this goes. But I want to ask you when you guys are going to get to open for the Avett Brothers too, but we'll get to that.
Well, this spoon solo is probably going to take 7 minutes, so
Oh, geez. All right.
no. All right, I'll give you like 20 seconds of it. Let's see.
Oh,
Nice. Even caught it at the end. Wow.
Oh goodness.
That's awesome. So a YouTube
Very
video
nice.
taught you that, huh?
Yes. Not quite all that.
That's odd. So does that show up in every live show?
It does.
Yep.
16 days in a row when you hit the road on April 4th, there's going to be a spoon solo somewhere.
Oh yeah. It's always fun. We got to get him out from the drum set at least once. You know,
Definitely, definitely.
This
fun.
is our first record with a spoon solo on it, actually.
Okay.
So
How many people can say that?
For better or for worse, there
Is
is
it the first spoon solo in the history of music on a record? Probably not. There probably is records,
you know,
like dedicated to it.
You never know, man.
You could do a solo album someday, maybe just spoons.
Wow.
John on spoons.
I love that.
So I've heard people say when the Avetts play in the Midwest that you guys should open for them because it would be perfect because you're there and you guys are huge fans of the band and obviously you know Mike. Why hasn't this happened yet? And when is it going to happen? Has there been talks? Can you divulge any information?
I mean, yeah, people have definitely been pushing for that, which we really appreciate. You know, it does go a long way.
I don't even know how it happens though. I mean, there's got to be planning like a
Just
couple
like
years in advance for stuff like that.
yeah, and they're such a big band. You know, I'm sure they have a heavy part in choosing who they want to share the stage with as well, and oftentimes they probably don't need to as well,
Right.
because of their size. But we're just waiting for the stars to align. You know, it'll happen.
It'll happen. Yeah.
The people that open for them are our heroes. Like that's how
Right?
big,
Yeah.
like from from
Scrambled or
Lucius and Trampled by Turtles to when John Prine was, he had
Yeah.
opened for them, and
Well, Brandy Carlisle's open for them too.
it's like
She's
those
kind of
are
blown up.
it'd be maybe kind of a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But like so it seems like they pair with really huge bands. It would be it would be extremely exciting to get to open for them, and it's definitely something I would love to do one day.
We're putting it
yeah.
into the universe. It's gonna happen sometime. It's gonna happen. Gotta make it happen. A lot of fans want to see it, and a lot of
I
fans
love
want to
it.
see you
Yeah,
guys.
man.
And they're gonna get that chance starting early in April. You're gonna be all around the country, and very exciting. So tell us your social media websites where people can go and buy merch and all that stuff and support you. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it all happens.
thewaydownwanderers.com. You can pre-order the album now. We've got some merch up there for pre-order as well. And then yeah, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you find music, Amazon, all those places, just the Way Down Wanderers. And yeah, April 4th, the album We Made a Mess in Middle America comes out.
Nice.
And can't wait.
I can't wait either. I love the single. Like I said, I'm going to start the episode off with that song. And you're going to have more singles come out before the album comes out. That's the plan. Not everyone's doing that now, it seems like.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when's the next one coming?
We will have a single coming on Friday, I think the day this airs.
Oh, nice.
And then we will have one pretty soon after that. So some music, some more new music is coming before the record comes
So
out.
go follow the Way Down Wanderers and go to the website and see all that stuff. Now, I always say this to artists, especially like when you are trying to sell music, because it's hard to make money with music, like selling. You don't sell CDs anymore and stuff like that. Maybe you do, and of course records are big and people buy those. But the best thing you can do to support an artist is like your music on music platforms and add songs to playlists, right? So people,
Yeah.
it'll spread and people will hear it, and that gets you searching and finding and buying merch and stuff like that, where you actually make money from that, right?
Totally. Yes. And yeah, we sell a good amount of CDs, which is, it does seem like out, but people still love it. And yeah, we have all that stuff on the road with us, vinyl as well. So yeah, that does go a long way, the hard merchandise. But yeah, add us to your playlist, share the music with your friends. All that stuff goes such a long way.
Yeah, I got to pick up the vinyl when I got to pre-order it and get that in my collection. So I'm excited for it. And you guys are awesome. I hope you come back on someday. Maybe chat about life on the road.
Yeah,
Austin, you're gonna play the spoons next time, maybe?
maybe I just can't.
Works.
I've tried, man. I've tried. I just can't. I can't grip them. Yeah.
Is there any other
We'll see.
utensils people can play? Is it just spoons?
You know, I think forks hurt a little bit more.
Yeah,
I
right.
want to stay away from the knives.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
maybe a spork could do it.
Oh, there you go. New challenge for you.
Oh my god.
Break out the. I don't know if the sound would be the same from a spork though. Too much openness in
Yeah,
between the tongs.
absolutely.
There's the name of your next album though. Your solo, in between the tongs.
I love it. Copyright that.
The spoons. All right. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd.
The Way Down Wanderers, go check them out. Go follow them on all the social medias, buy their merch, and follow, like their music, and add it to your playlist. Austin and John, thank you guys. We'll see you down the road. Hopefully, I'll see you in Syracuse this summer.
Yep. We'll see you there.
All right, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.